I am going to be taking over as the general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I have been tasked with building a Stanley Cup champion roster and finally bringing a cup back to Toronto for the first time since 1967. We're going to be starting off hot right away with a trade. Kelly Yarncroc and a second-round pick that's actually Florida's second-rounder for Igor Chinnikov from the Columbus Blue Jackets. They are totally unwilling to give that up, so we're definitely going to have to sweeten the deal just a touch. I threw in a third and a fifth rounder to try to make it go through, and there we go. So I think I'm only going to make one move for season number one. We're going to have multiple more chances at winning the Stanley Cup here with Toronto. I'm stacking the first line. Nylander, Matthews, and Marner. We'll go Chinnikov, who we just picked up alongside Tavares and Nyes. Our third line is Camp, Domi, and McMahon, and then Lorentz, Lawton, and Pacioretty. Defensively, honestly, everybody fits. Tanev and Riley, McCabe and Carlo, Hakan Pah, and Oliver Ekman-Larsson. And then we get a decent goalie tandem with Stolars and Wall, 86 and 84 overall. Toronto, right now, we are in cruise control, 32-11-3, an excellent start to the regular season. If you guys want to see the Leafs go all the way and win the Stanley Cup, make sure you are subscribed to the channel with notifications on so you do not miss a single upload. So here we are at the trade deadline, 43-15-4. We're going straight up 1-for-1. David Kampf for Fabian Zetterlund. He's younger. He's 1 overall better. He only has 1 year left on his contract compared to 2.3 for David Kampf. We're going to see if the Ottawa Senators will accept it, and they have considered it a done deal. So at the end of the season, the Leafs finished with a record of 56-19-7, 119 points, top of the Atlantic and top of the NHL, winning also the President's Trophy. So not only do we have the 1967 curse, but also now the President's Trophy, so it is going to be tough to win the Stanley Cup. Edmonton was second, Florida third, New Jersey was up there. We got Minnesota and Dallas. Austin Matthews will have a career season, 56 goals, 119 points. Nylander had 114, Marner with 107, Morgan Riley had 72. John Tavares had a much better season in real life, but I mean, this dude more than likely is gone in the offseason. And for goalies, Anthony Stolars was our starter, 41 wins, 15 losses, 3 in overtime with 5 shutouts and a .918 save percentage. Sam Reinhart, surprisingly, is going to lead the league in scoring, 128 points. We got Barkov up there at 124. I mean, the scoring in the NHL was crazy this season. Mitch Marner had a career high of 107, Leon with 106. If we take a look at the goals side, Tomiak will lead with 56. Pasta had 51. Also, Willie had 51. McDavid with 48. Nazem Kadri was up there. He was a -15 on the Calgary Flames with 48 goals. And for the goaltenders, Anthony Stolars, he was close up there at wins with 41. Skinner had the most at 46. And if we take a look at the shutouts, that would end up going to Connor Hellebuck and Jacob Markstrom, both of which tying with 8 on the season. And now in round number 1, we honestly didn't really luck out by winning our division. We got to face Carolina in the first round. We have a pretty good team on paper. Should be an overall tough series. Well, in typical Maple Leafs fashion, we have not been playing very well. Down 3-1 in this series to Carolina, who are literally a wild card team in this video. So here we go, game 5, home ice. It is an elimination game. We're down 2-1 entering the third period thanks to Logan Stankoven. And then Brent Burns extends the lead. What is going on with Toronto right now? We are massively underperforming. We won the President's Trophy, had like 55 wins in the regular season. And now the wild card team, the second wild card team, I'm refusing to believe that we're down 3-1 right now in the third period. 3-1 in the series as well to the goddamn Carolina Hurricanes. I said it was going to be a tough series. But honestly, I still thought we would win. Scott Lawton coming in. Why do we get our third line out there on the ice? Let's get the big boys out there. Less than a minute to go. Let's see if Toronto can somehow claw their way back in this game. It's not looking too great, though, if we're being honest. Oh, no. Tanev getting board played in the corner. Come on, Willie. I got full forecheck here. Full attack and all out. Here we go. Mitch Marner. He needs to be re-signed in the offseason, and he gets laid the hell out. That is one of the guys maybe we should have dealt to get somebody else, but we'll see. I pretty much rocked away with the same exact roster here in year number 1. Martin Hook over to Orlov. 25 seconds to go. Still down by 2. It is not looking too great for Toronto right now. McCabe over Matthews, and Freddie Anderson will cover it up. This is honestly one of the most disappointing playoff losses in Toronto history. We played the second wildcard team, and not only we didn't even make it to a Game 7 and choked, we got straight up dominated in a gentleman's sweep by the Carolina Hurricanes, who we know have a pretty good roster. Maybe they just underperformed in the regular season. Nonetheless, yet again, in GM Pasta's first season with Toronto, The Maple Laughs again. They're going to be a first-round exit. Well, again, Austin Matthews, would you look at that? Through 5 games, had 2 apples for 2 points. That's it. William Nylander led our team with 4 points in 5 games. None of the big guns showed up, man. That's been the issue with Toronto for a long time, and that has just continued. Anthony Stolarz, I mean, he wasn't that great in the 5 games that he played with only a .902 save percentage. The Rangers would eventually go on, sweep Vegas in the Stanley Cup Finals to take home their first cup since like the early 90s, I believe. Sam Reinhart's going to win the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. Matthews, the Maurice Richard. Cale Makar is going to take home the Norris. We got Matvei Mishkov with the Calder. The Conn Smythe will go to JT Miller. Philip Gustafson's going to win the Vezina. And for the Selke, it is going to go to Ryan O'Reilly. We went out in free agency. We upgraded our decor and Ryan Lindgren, 84 overall for $4.7 million. So this is what our roster looks like heading into season number 2. Still running with the big guns on the first line. I mean, they've all grown in overall, 94, 96, and now 96 for Mitch Marner. We got Chinnikov alongside Johnny T and Matt Nyes, who hasn't even grown himself. Our third line is fine. Fourth line isn't that great. We got McMahon down the middle. Defensively, though, we got an upgrade. Lindgren slots in beautifully. We have pluses all around the board. Morgan Riley's up to a 91 overall. Anthony Stolarz himself is an 88, and Joseph Wall hasn't grown. And you know what? It's been way too many first-round exits in a row. Austin Matthews are being stripped of the captaincy, getting the A off of Morgan Riley. The new captain of the Leafs is going to be none other than the good Canadian boy, Mitch Marner. Matthews, you can get an A. John Tavares stripping you. And I'm going to give it to Brandon Carlo, as he's probably going to be the future of this squad. Right now at the trade deadline, we are 32, 18, and 10, and we're going all in again. We are trying to win the Stanley Cup every single season. Claude Giroux at 50% retained for Ryan Reeves, Matt Benning, and a second-round pick, and they do not want to do that whatsoever. So let me sweeten the deal with another second. Throw in a third rounder to just overpower it, and that should go through. Asset no longer on the team. No, LA swooped in and traded for a second rounder. I guess I got to switch my focus to Kiefer Sherwood from Vancouver. We got Reeves, a second, another second, and a third. And there we go. We'll see you out on the ice. We just upgraded our forward core. I mean, I would have loved to get Claude Giroux. That was my first choice, but I'm not mad with Kiefer Sherwood. So this season, we had a slight regression, 46, 25, and 11, 103 points. Still third in our division. We got Tampa in round number 1. Florida was our best team. And then they were also the best team in the entire NHL, winning 55 games, followed by Tampa Bay, Carolina, Colorado, and Leafs. I mean, we were a top 5 team in the National Hockey League. Mitch Marner is going to hit a new career high, 35 goals, 126 points, playing outstanding. William Nylander had 45 and 95. Matthews had 52 goals. John Tavares, I mean, I wish the computers did not re-sign this man. 17 goals, 65 points. He's 35 years old. Morgan Riley was decent. Scott Lawton, 28 goals, 55 points. I'm not mad at that at all. And if we take a look at Stolarz, 33, 18, and 9, 4 shutouts with a 9-19. Well, I guess in this universe, Sasha Barkov is the best player ever. 63 goals, 131 points. He's probably also going to win the Selke Trophy at 30 years of age. Sam Reinhart also is up there. He took home all the individual awards last season, so Florida is a wagon, man. Matthew Tkachuk, 3 players in the 120s is absolutely insane. Braden Point, we got to play in round 1. That's going to be tough, as well as Jake Gensel. For the goaltenders, Vasi had the most wins at 45. The most shutouts, we go to Stuart Skinner, who had 9 on the season. And of course, here is the playoff tree. We got Tampa Bay in round number 1. Last season, we started out 0-2 in the first 2 games in the playoffs, and history has repeated itself yet again. All right, game 3. In Toronto. Let's see if we can get back in the series. Oh my God, dude. Joseph Wall and Anthony Stolarz. What do they smoke before the game? I would say that I'm surprised, but honestly, it's the Toronto Maple Leafs on April Fool's Day. I can't be surprised by that. Entering the third period, we get a 1-1 tie. Thank you, Chinnikov. Down 0-3 in the series. I mean, reverse sweep is maybe off the table, but let's try to get one here, Toronto. Let's not get swept. I mean, what did I win? 1 playoff game last year, maybe none this season. My GM reputation is going down the drain. No! Oh my God, man. Why is Max Domi out there on the ice? Can we please shorten the bench? Yes, get him off the ice. Let's get our first line out there right now. Full attack, full forecheck. Oh no, Cirelli coming in. Anthony Cirelli loses that puck though. The Toronto Maple Leafs on the verge of getting swept right now. They're down by 1 in this third period. up against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Let's see what we can do. We get the big guns out there. Nylander over. Riley doesn't even get it off the ice. All right, Morgan Riley, top 5 defenseman, my ass. Where is Matthews? Where is Marner? These guys are just not playing right now. Brandon Hagel, we had full pressure. They have no energy, boys. Oh, my God. The Leafs are stinking it up yet again on home ice. Carlo to Mitch Marner, up to Matthews. Come on, boys. We got one final rush. We're only down, but Matthews just got tossed like a little kid by Braden Point. This is unbelievable. What am I witnessing right now? The Leafs are literally worse than before I even picked them up. Matthews in, doesn't get a shot on net. 14 seconds to go. I've won 1 playoff game in the last 2 playoff runs, as GM Pasta has an absolute horrific start here in Toronto. Anthony Stolarz, you make the save, but a little bit too late. 2.9 seconds to go. Literally 1 playoff game win in the last 2 years for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Nonetheless, big changes are coming in the offseason. Let me tell you that right now. Yet again, the core 4 is underperforming. Austin Matthews, dude, you have 3 points in the last 2 playoff runs, which were 9 games. Oh my God, he's been so awful. William Nylander again leads our team. Chinnikov had 5 points. Mitch Marner was bad himself. And what about Anthony Stolarz? Was he not that good? An 8.76. And Joseph Wall had an 800 save percentage, allowed 5 goals. I guess the good news is I get to see my Oilers go all the way and beat Tampa in 6 games in the Stanley Cup Finals. Barkov is going to take home the Ted Lindsay, Maurice Richard, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. Makar will win the Norris. The Conn Smythe is going to go to McDavid. Philip Gustafson with the Vezina Trophy and the Selke. That'll go to Sid the Kid. Now, the fact that we're going to lose Stoli in the offseason, we need an upgrade in goal, so I'm giving up Joseph Wall for Spencer Knight. He's 25 years old, already an 87 overall. I had to throw in some draft picks just to make the value work. Trade has been rejected. Now, I did have a second rounder, this one right here. Let me throw it into the deal to make it go through, and there we go. I'm going to get rid of Chinnikov. I know I just re-signed this man to a 4-year extension, but he's taking up too much money. We don't have a lot of money now that we traded for Spencer Knight, so he's gone. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and a 4th for Mason Marchment and Maverick Bourque from the Dallas Stars, and there we go. They have accepted my offer. A lot of changes for the Toronto Maple Leafs heading into season number 3. Still got that lethal top line. We got Marchment alongside Tavares and Nye, so they get a +1 there. Domi, Trent Frederick, and Victor Arvidsson. And then we got Holmberg, Bourque, and Robertson as our 4th line. So our forward core is lethal. Defensively, we got the chemistry. Riley and Carlo, 86 and 90 overall apiece. And in goal, we got an 89 Spencer Knight. So he's grown 2 overall since I traded for him in the offseason. Also only 25 years old. The Leafs are going all in, man. I know we have Spencer Knight, but just in case he falters in the playoff run, we're picking up Jesper Wallstedt. 90 overall goaltender, making $2.2 million. We got Simone Benoit and Nemelia. Both of them, they don't even play for our squad. I threw in picks to make this go through. I'm going to take away that 2nd round pick. And it got rejected. Of course it did. So I'm going to have to go back here, throw in the 2nd rounder, and hope to God that this trade does go through. No. I guess I'm going to have to give up 2 seconds and a 3rd round pick. They still do not want to go for that. Oh my God. Am I really going to have to give up a 1st rounder for Jesper Wallstedt? You know what? I'm going all in. 2028 1st rounder for Jesper Wallstedt. Throw it into the deal. They do not want to get rid of this guy, even though he's on the chopping block. 2nd, 3rd, and a 3rd. Come on, Minnesota. You know you want to. You know you want to. One final shot, one final opportunity, and there we go. We get Jesper Wallstedt for our playoff run. The Leafs yet again come back, have a great regular season, 58, 22, and 2, 118 points, top of our division, and we would win the President's Trophy yet again. Dallas was 2nd, Florida was up there, Edmonton defending champs, and then the Boston Bruins still holding on as a top 5 team in the National Hockey League. Tummy Ache Matthews finally showing up, 57 goals, 152 points. William Nylander had 125 and 65 goals himself. Marner with 115, so our offense was unbelievable. Morgan Riley, I guess he was a top 5 D-man this season. He was point per game. John Tavares had 27 goals, went back in time. Mason Marchment, 24 himself. And if we take a look at the goalies here, Spencer Knight, he had a 907. Oh no, Wallstedt played 30 games and he was not good whatsoever. Matthews is going to go ahead and lead the NHL in scoring with 152 points. For goals. How is Alexander Barkov putting up 71 goals in the regular season? Goalie-wise, if we take a look, Jake Ottinger and Sergei Bobrovsky are going to tie in wins with 43 apiece. For shutouts, Igor Kochekov both had 8. And it is going to be a rematch up against Tampa Bay in round number 1. So we got to be on our P's and Q's, and we got to get revenge. We literally get torched every single game 1. We lost 5-0 now in game 2. Can the Leafs show up 3-0 after 2? And there we go. We return the favor. All right, game number 3. Here we go in Tampa Bay. 5-1 after 1. Absolutely dominating them, and we take a 2-1 series lead. All right, here we go. Game number 4. First period, 2-0. Second period, 3-1. And the Leafs, they are absolutely rolling in the real-time sim right now. Let's see if the Leafs can close out this series here in Toronto for Game 5. No score after 1. Second period. All right, we got a 1-1 tie entering the third. Borkstrand and Victor Arvidsson for their respective teams, and then William Nylander, the 65-goal man, and Matthew Knies, both of which lighting up Andrei Vasilevsky. And finally, for the first time in GM Past's tenure with the Leafs, we are going to win a playoff series. Well, our playoff run definitely doesn't get any easier as we have to play Florida in the second round of the postseason. We win game number 1 with a quick sim. Let's see game 2 as well. Come on, Toronto. We are on a roll right now. There we go. We've won, what, like 6 in a row at this point? Can we take a 3-0 series lead over the Florida Panthers, please? Yes, we do. Can we eliminate them? A 4-game sweep against Florida, and they are gone. And now in the conference finals, we play the Carolina Hurricanes, who in year number 1, they beat us. Remember that 5-game gentleman's sweep. Right now, though, we are on a heater. This is, what, 10 wins in a row for the Toronto Maple Leafs in the postseason. 11 wins in a row. Can we sweep Carolina? No, they actually get one off of us. All right. We'll go to a game number 5. I'm praying. Do we get the dub? We do get the win. And would you look at that? It is Battle of Canada for the Stanley Cup. The defending champs in Edmonton up against Toronto. Can we finally break the curse and win our first Stanley Cup since 67? The Oilers ended up winning game number 1 4-2. So we're going to hop into the real-time sim. We're going to see what we can do. Come on, Toronto. First period, 1-0 lead. Second period, 2-0 lead. And we shut out the Oilers in game number 2. Austin Matthews as well. Pots a hat trick in the Stanley Cup Finals. All right, we got a 1-1 series tie heading to Edmonton for game number 3. 2-1 after 1, 3-1 after 2. Oh no, we got to go to overtime. And here we are, game number 3. Very pivotal game 3 of the Cup Finals. We got a 3-3 tie in overtime. We could possibly go up 2-1. Headed back, or no, we still have to play another game in Edmonton. Zach Hyman waiting. Back to the point to Darnell Nurse. Out to McDavid. Oh my God, do not let Connor McDavid score, please. Bouchard blasting one. Nice shot block there. The Edmonton Oilers are all over us right now. Top 5 D-man. Riley, got to get it out. Carlo, got to get it out, please, somebody. There we go, up to Matthews. Finding Mitch Marner. Over to Nylander. The 60-goal man. The 65-goal man at that. Mitch Marner. Oh, he gets laid the hell out in the corner. Are we making a change? What are we doing right now, Toronto? We get 16 minutes to go in this third period. Leon Draisaitl coming in. Draisaitl. Nice save there. Is that Spencer Knight or Wallstedt in the net? I think it might be Spencer Knight. I'm not sure. Here we go. Nylander. Oh my God. William Nylander all alone. Nylander over. Marchment. Nice save by Stuart Skinner. John Tavares, though, gets the rebound. Oh, McDavid gets the turnover there. Tolavine, nice. Johnny T finding Marchment. Rings it off the bar. Are you kidding me? Skinner is getting bailed the hell out right now. Nugent Hopkins coming down for the Oilers. He loses it, though. There we go. Mason Marchment. You got some room, brother. You got to skate. Marchment. Pass it. Oh, John Tavares was open. John Tavares was wide open. Possibly on a breakaway, and he did not want to do it. Here we go the other way. Tolavainen coming in for the Oilers. Shot block out in front. Nice save again by the netminder. Is that McDavid or Kane? I think it's Evander Kane. The Edmonton Oilers got their third line out there on the ice. Nice hit there in front of the net. The Leafs are absolutely gassed right now. John Tavares ripping on net, brother. We got to get ourselves a change. Get the big boys back out there. Matthew Knies steals it. Nice. Over. Carlo. Rebound. Juicy-ass rebound, and nobody could get a handle on it. 8 minutes to go in the third period. Matthias Janmark loses it to top 5 D-man Morgan Riley. Brent Frederick loses it to Nick But the Edmonton Oilers signed Nick Cousins. Oh, we got to beat them, man. That absolute rat of a human being. And Wallstedt will make the save. All right, 6:51 left to go here in overtime. Oh, no. Skinner. Oh, for God's sakes. Jeff Skinner will get the overtime winner, and we are falling down 2-1 in the Stanley Cup Finals. All right, here we go. Game number 4 is as close to a must-win as you can get. First period. Oh, my God. 2-0 lead for the Oilers. McDavid and Dry. Second period. All right, Austin Matthews gets us within 1, gets us on the board, and then he ties the game up on the power play. That is what a captain should do, although he's not the captain anymore. Power play for Toronto. Can we get anything on it? We have 37 shots on net already. Oh, no. Power play for the Oilers. Please kill it off. This is a long-ass penalty. 5 minutes to go. Tola Vainen gives the Edmonton Oilers the lead, and they're going to go up 3-1 in the Stanley Cup Finals. Here we go. Season on the line in Toronto. First period, a 1-0 lead. Thank you, John Tavares. Second period, 2-0 lead. Mitch Marner gives us the insurance marker. We're outworking, outplaying, out-hustling the Edmonton Oilers, and John Tavares will seal the deal. We are headed to a game number 6. The series has made the switch to Edmonton for game 6. First period. Oh, there goes our season. We literally give it up within 1 period. Second period. Oh my God! What is that? 6 unanswered goals by the Toronto. 5 unanswered goals entering the third period. Can the Leafs hold on? The Leafs, they will hold on to a barn burner 9-6 in the Stanley Cup Finals, and we have forced a game number 7. This has to be the craziest Stanley Cup Final game in NHL history. Look at the goals, man. Look at where they're at, too. It all comes down to this. Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. First period, no score. We only have 6 shots as well. Second period, no score again. The goalies after last game said, hell nah. No, Eli Tolavainen on Jesper Wallstedt gives the Edmonton Oilers a 1-0 lead. Come on, Toronto. We got a power play. Power play Matthews. Power play Matthews. Really, nobody's going to score. This is like a 5-minute major. 8 minutes to go in the third period. Come on, Maple Leafs. We didn't come this far just to lose. I literally swear, every time I hop into a game, the other team scores. 2-0 lead for the Edmonton Oilers. We got 2 minutes to go in the third period. We're not calling a timeout. We're going all out. Here we go. Full attack, full forecheck. Get the big guns out there right now. Top line, Mason Marchment tries to dump it in deep, but of course, EA nerfed the dumps. Zach Hyman coming in. Nice turnover, Tanev. Here we go. Come on, Toronto. We need one quick here. A minute to go. I might have to pull the goalie. We're in Game 7 of the Cup Finals. What a fitting way for Toronto to end up losing this. What a save by Wallstedt. That man was absolutely incredible. Full pressure for the Oilers. They're all over us right now. We can't do a goddamn thing. Jesper Wallstedt makes the save again. On the road, the Edmonton Oilers looking to go back-to-back. Oh, my God. Austin Matthews has 39 points in the playoffs, and we're going to go out in a Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals where we don't score a single goal. Again, when the team needed him the most, when the entire city needed him the most, he was nowhere to be found. Tolavainen coming in, 25 seconds to go. Bouchard, nice save, Wallstedt. It was not on Jesper Wallstedt. The man had like a .920 save percentage in the playoffs. Mitch Marner steals it. Unfortunately, we are down by 2. We'll pull our goalie, but I think this game is over. Stuart Skinner makes a glove save on Matthews. We got Skinnered in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. 33 shots, 33 saves, an empty net that they're going to miss. But Darnell Nurse will put it home for the Edmonton Oilers as they're going to go all the way and win the Stanley Cup, unfortunately. Finally, our core 3 actually showed up in the playoffs. Matthews had 18 goals, 39 points. Nylander with 33. Marner had 31 and 13 goals. Even John Tavares chipped in with 20. We had good goaltending from Jesper Wallstedt with a .917. And still yet, we can't go on and win the Stanley Cup. Matthews is going to take on the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. Barkov, the Maurice Richard, the Norris will go to Cale Makar. Conn Smythe to Leon. Kochekov's going to win the Vezina. And Matthews will take home the Selke. I got one more in me. Shout out Vince Carter. GM Pasta has been tasked with winning the Stanley Cup this season. Otherwise, he is going to be fired. So we're rocking out the same first line. Second line now is Blake Coleman, Mason Marchment, and Matthew Nyes. We got Frederick alongside Bork and Mantha, Arvidsson, O'Reilly, and Domi. And then defensively, we could honestly use another defenseman or even 2 for that bottom defensive pairing with Tanev and Ekman Larson, as they're pretty low overalls. But luckily, we're locked into the best goaltending tandem in the entire league in Wallstedt and Knight. Here we are going all in at the deadline yet again. I got a first and a third for Pius Suter, not wasting any time. And there we go. It is a done deal. 86 overall centerman, exactly what we needed. We're also going to go after a defenseman. Ekman Larson just does not work. He's a 78 overall. Caden Price is slightly better, a lot younger, throwing in draft picks to make it go through. Easy trade to make. I'm going all in, man. This is my final season potentially with the Toronto Maple Leafs. We are going to be giving up 2 first-rounders for Jake Evans, going all in at the trade deadline of the Toronto Maple Leafs. I hope you know what you are doing. Well, brother, I know exactly what I want to do. I am giving away all my assets. We are going all in on this final season. Sam Dickinson, welcome to what? They're totally unwilling to get rid of Sam Dickinson for all these assets. And for the final trade at the trade deadline, Sean Walker from the Carolina Hurricanes headed to Toronto. This is the new look Toronto Maple Leafs. Pluses all across the board. We got Pius Suter alongside Nyes and Marchman, Jake Evans, Blake Coleman, and Anthony Mantha. Even our fourth line is lethal. Defensively, we got pluses across the board. And yeah, we also have the greatest goaltending tandem in the entire league with an 89 Spencer Knight and an 89 Jesper Wallstedt. So we've finally entered the final season. Leafs, again, great regular season, 56-20-6, 118 points at top of the Atlantic. Dallas was the only team better. I mean, god damn, what a wagon they are. 62-12-8 on the season. Matthews will go off yet again, 69 goals, 144 points. We got Nylander with 48 and 118. Marner had 111. Morgan Riley the past 2 seasons has been a point per game defenseman. Matthew Nyes is good. We have a whole lot more depth than in recent memory. And we got 2 great goaltenders. Wallstedt had a 930 with 7 shutouts in 41 games. And yet again, we got to play the Tampa Bay Lightning in the first round of the playoffs. We gentlemen swept the Lightning in round number 1, move on to Florida here in the second round, who I believe we actually swept last season in round number 2, so it'll be interesting to see. Well, we're not going to get it done this year. Down 2-0 the series already, heading into a very pivotal game number 3. Come on, Toronto. This team is way too good to be getting swept. First period, 2-0 lead. Second period, 3-0 lead, and we shut out the Florida Panthers. Here we go, Leafs. Game 4. Let's tie the series up 1-0 after 1, thanks to Matthew Tkachuk. A 2-2 tie entering the third period. Can Toronto hold on? There we go, Anthony Mantha. A very good pickup by GM Pass that gives us the lead. And no way, Sam Reinhart with 37 seconds to go. All right, I'm not hopping into for overtime. It has not gone well for me at all. We got 47 shots. No way Florida's going to take the win. Well, backs against the wall yet again. Here we go. First period, down 2-1. Tkachuk is absolutely lighting us up right now. But thank you to Blake Coleman and William Nylander. We get a 3-2 lead entering the third, despite the fact we only got 20 shots on net. There we go. Ryan Lindgren with the insurance marker. And again, Dmitry Kulikov gets a pair in the third period. We got to go to overtime yet again. Elimination game. And there it is. The Florida Panthers eliminate the Leafs in a gentleman sweep. I mean, Matthews was more so a playmaker in the playoffs this time. Only 3 goals. Nylander had 12 points. Marner with 11 pies. So, like, we had a lot of guys chip in. What about goalies? Was Wallstedt the problem? I mean, he went from a 930 in the regular season all the way down to a 907. And there it is, the Dallas Stars. They were the best team in the regular season, best team in the postseason, and they win the Stanley Cup. Matthews will have a clean sweep in all the individual awards. We got the Norris going to Cale Makar. Wyatt Johnston's going to win the Conn Smythe. Jake Ottinger, the Vezina, and the Selke. That's going to go to JT Miller. Well, that is going to do it for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. I would like to say thank you all for watching, and until next time, don't be silly. Wrap your willy.